Welcome to the stream. Today I'm going to do some work on my Mandalorian. I'm going to replace the LVDS capture card. The one I have today is the GeekWorm. I think most streamers use this. I mean, this is kind of what you can find out there, right? It kind of looks like this. You mount it. You set some jumpers. I didn't actually mount this, but it's have like a pads here. You have to get the pads yourself, right? So it doesn't come with it. Really flimsy cable, and the problem with this kind of board in general is just that you have to reset it. Well, it resets itself, right? And the only way to kind of get the picture back onto your stream, the image feed to the display in the game is always fine, right? It just kind of passes that through. But on the HDMI output, what happens is that it kind of starts blanking, and sometimes it just like blanks out the entire image. And that will in turn result in that you need to power cycle the board, right? And how do you power cycle this board? As in the back of your back box, you have to turn the game off and on again, right? It's very clunky. So this board I actually took out of X-Men that I had here on loan, right? And there was a viewer that was kind of observing some of these blanking issues, and it was sort of giving me a hint about an Australian company that manufactured a different kind of solution, right? I have not installed this in a game yet. I don't even know if this works. This is just one of those kind of off-the-cuff streams, just like, yeah, let's just stream it while I install it kind of thing, right? So the company name is called HOV Pinball. Let's see if I can get it to focus here. Yeah, the thing is, do I need to put my whole face in here? There we go. This board works very, very differently from the GeekWorm board that I showed you before, right? And this works more like a daughter board to the Spike 2 board, right? So you just jam that in there, and yes. So there's like a female connector on the back here. And you just remove the cable that's in that socket now, and you put that in here, and that will feed to your display, right? And then there's a DVI, DVI-D or DVI-I, I don't know. There's a bunch of different standards, right? The thing is that I don't know why there's a DVI output, but the thing is that the signal that comes from that you feed to the LVDS display is not very high res anyway, right? So it's well within the DVI spec, and I can only assume that the DVI connector probably cost a magnitude of dollars cheaper when you manufacture them in bulk. I don't think DVI comes with a license either, right? I think to HDMI kind of stamp your products is probably something you have to apply for, and it's just messy, right? And the good thing is that DVI-D in these low resolutions are forward compatible with HDMI. So essentially these boards, they come with a HDMI, let me see here, I had a box here somewhere. They come with these HDMI kind of converters, DVI to HDMI converters, right? So you have a male in one end here that you plug into the board, and you have an HDMI female. Yeah, it's just, there we go. And these are like a dime a dozen, right? I bet I wouldn't even need these like with this board, because that's how many I have. You usually got these when you bought monitors for the last 10 years or so, right? And also, to be fair, there's quite a lot of DVI capture cards out there as well, right? So if you have a DVI capture card, that you might have bought for your Jersey Jack pinball because they're using DVI displays, right? You might have a DVI capture card that you want to capture your gameplay with, right? So that's it. So I mean, at the end of the day, I was kind of expecting there were some threads on the board there, but it doesn't matter. I mean, the thing is, it socketed pretty well in there. So Mandalorian is a bit of a, my Mandalorian at least is a bit of a monster inside here, because I have a score bit, I have an HDMI splitter for the topper and stuff like that. So it is a little bit messy in there, but let's see how this kind of works out. Yeah, let me see if I can get some better footage of what it looks like in there. I'll probably move the so this is kind of my current solution here, right? I got my score bit there, I got my HDMI splitter for the topper, and there's the GeekWorm board now, right? And that blanks out and just it's just a mess. And there's like a little daughter or like dongle cable there. And these GeekWorm boards, they don't come with any instructions at all, right? So you kind of need for one thing, you kind of need to jumper the board properly. Thankfully, there's another streamer out there that kind of wrote it up and did all the legwork on how to configure it. It's Buffalo Pinball, for anyone who wants to check it out. Yeah, and we got some explanation in chat there as well. I just want to highlight that. We seem to have caught the creator on the notification there, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, thank you for joining the stream and kind of explaining a few things here. Yeah, the DVI. DVI has no audio or Ethernet, and yeah, at the end of the day, you don't need that, right? I was actually going to get to that because it's only a video signal, and that's the only thing we care about, right? So let me just see if I can remove this thing here. Yeah, it's a little bit crammed in here. Yeah, obviously don't care about this board anymore. I think for my games I've had in rotation, I think I bought like 8 or 9 of these or something like that, and to me that is just catastrophic. And the thing is that the GeekWorm kind of people, they kind of like, oh, you need to test your boards immediately, and you need to send it back immediately if it doesn't work, right? But usually the problems, they don't like arise until a little bit later, right? So usually kind of works. My Stranger Things kind of worked really good for like the first couple of streams, and then it just completely broke down on me. So let me see if I can get some more light in there. Oh, that's just dark here. Well, yeah, I mean, you're just gonna have to live with it. So let's see here if this is as simple as I think it is, right? So this is just like a daughter board that goes into the connector here. Look at that, right? Snaps right in. That's it. And then this connector here, it's not necessarily, oh, I need to, yeah, there's a ground wire here that is really confusing. I might need to actually, nah, I don't need to. Yeah, and that just, look at that. It just snaps into place. How beautiful is that, right? And here on the side, I got my HDMI cable. It's kind of looped in here. There we go. And hopefully this should be it, right? That's how simple that is. And at the end of the day, if you were just installing it for the first time, you obviously don't need to remove your GeekWorm board and just pop it in there. And Another kind of drawback with the GeekWorm boards, again, is just the fact that the cables that you get with the kit, they're not keyed in any direction at all, right? And you need to kind of place them in the connector, kind of offset. It's like super clunky, right? It's sort of like, I mean, they could have made an effort to kind of make like a spike kind of packaging of that product, and kind of like made it more installer friendly. They could have made that like braided cable a little bit more intuitive, and like having it keyed, having the right header or connector. I don't know which one is which, but yeah, they could have just made a product so much better, but no. So now we have HOV Pinball installed, and let's see how this goes. Just need to push the game back here a little bit. So I'm going to be so cool now, and I'm just going to assume that this works. So I'm just going to push the game all the way back in and set it up and get the rig over it and play some games. I've probably not played Mando since May the 4th. I kind of feel a bit bad by now. But there's been so many games coming in and out. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm also capturing the topper output on this game, which is pretty cool, but I'm probably not gonna have time to fiddle with that for this stream, unfortunately. I might actually. What time is it? Nah, I might have time for it. I might do it. Get this heavy thing out of the way. Stand. All right, we got confirmation in chat that that's it. So hopefully this is it. I'm going to do some. I need to do some reconfiguring here to get the riggable, so to speak, and switch off to the other mic here and stuff like that. But thank you for watching this part. You can see that the display works, and I'm going to switch over to gameplay. I'm going to see if we can capture some video from the display and hang in for that, and I'll need to reconfigure a few things here. See you soon.